His base. So the Rebbe is going to continue to explain now how the purpose is to meditate before the davening and to create the level of bittul, and a yid high level has come down in this world in order to accomplish that bittul also in the world, as the Rebbe will continue to explain. First, the Rebbe explains the Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, the meditation and the reflection in this pasuk, and to explain the different levels that the person reaches through this reflection and bittul. Inyan hu, the idea is the hine klolus avodah sa'odam bo alidei ha hizboinenus. Generally, service of man comes through reflection. The nakudas ha'avodah. What is the point? What is avodah? His bonus is the introduction to the avodah. The avodah is Mamer Azal. Our sages of blessed memory say, "Ezeu avodah shebelev zutfila." The pasuk says you should serve Hashem b'chol levav with your heart. What is the serving Hashem with the heart? So the Gemara says, the Chazal tell us, sages of blessed memory say, "Ezeu avodah shebelev zutfila." What is avodah in the heart? That's prayer. But before you can pray, you need meditation, you need reflection, you need his awareness. Before tefillah, amida, which is the tefillah, you need his awareness, you need the reflection, the meditation. The Kriya Shema of the reading of the Shema, ubirchas Kriya Shema, and the blessings of the Shema, v'chulu, etc. Kosuv, and what does it say in the Shema? It says, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Havaya Elokeinu, Havaya Echad. Listen, Yisrael, listen, Yidden. Havaya, which is Elokeinu, is Havaya Echad. The Rebbe is going to explain now that a Yid reflects on Havaya Echad. What is Echad? Hine, Ha'alef, the Echad. What is the Aleph of the word Echad? That represents Moira al Ein Sof Alufa Shalom. That points to the infinite, the master of the world. The Aleph of Echad, that's Hashem. The Aleph, the master of the world. V'aches Moira al Zayin Rikim V'oretz. And the Ches of the word Echad points to the number 8, which is Ches is 8, which is the 7 heavens and the earth. That is the Ches. V'adalid moire al dalid sitrin, and the 4 points to the 4 corners, the 4 corners of the world. So the Echad is Aleph, is Ein Sof, the Ches is the 7 heavens and the earth, and the Dal is the 4 corners of the world. So now the Rebbe points out over here, so we want that all of these are bottled to the Aleph. But here, it's not just a regular Dalet. And the Rebbe is going to explain now the Echad, the large Dalet of the Echad. Bine Hadalid hu Dalet Rabosi. The Dalet is a large Dalet. The font of the Dalet in the Torah is a Rabosi, a large. Who bechinas gadlus hadibur. That represents the greatness of dibur. There is the level of actual dibur, which the Eibishter created, Dvar Hashem Shamayim Nasu Asora Mamoris, with a level of dibur. But then we have the gadlus hadibur. That is the way dibur is not yet in actual dibur, but the way it's in the machshava, as the Rebbe will explain. The dalet, who bechinas hadibur. Dalet is level of speech. The Eibishter's speech is the dalet. But what's the dalet rabosi? Who gadlus hadibur. That's the greatness of the dibur. Who bechinas hadibur k'moi shehu b'machshava. Gadlus hadibur means the way the words are in your thought. Before a person can actually verbalize and speak things with his mouth, he has to first have those words, those speech in his head. That's called the dibur shebemachshava. The Rebbe is going to explain now. Within machshava itself, you have ma'aseh shebemachshava, dibur shebemachshava, machshava shebemachshava. It explains. Inyan hu derech mashul k'mei shanu rayim ba'adam lamata, by way of example, like we see by a person here. Below, it will give us an understanding as we see it over here. Shekol protei hadiburim klulim tchila b'machshavtei. All the details of the speech are first included in his thought. So the speech is the expression to the outside what he has in his head, in his thought. B'machshava achas. Over there it's one thought, and then it's articulated in speech. The machshava achazu hi makoir kol hadiburim hapratiyim. This one thought is the source of all the individual words. It's not only as this thought is the source, and then it comes in the dibur, and there's no more that machshava. No. Elo shamachshava koleles betoicho kol brote hadiburim gam la'achar shenimshechu mimenu. This thought includes in it all this deal after they come from it. It's not that they leave it. It includes it. There's a second step. The dibur comes out in actuality, but the machshava still is koil of that. This form of dibur, the way it's by the human being, represents a mashal, an example for the way the dibur works lamailo. So while we have the actual dibur, the asora mamoris, we have the dibur, the way it's included in the machshava. The Rebbe will say we have the 10 mamoris, but the bereshis is also a maamar which is inclusive of all the following details. Let's look inside. Similar, we'll understand above. Shakol protei ha'asora mamoris kululim techila bebechinas machshava achas hakalel soiso. That all the details of the 10 sayings which the Eibishter created the world first, they are included in one thought, hakalel soiso, which includes all the 10 mamoris. Which maamar is that? Which saying is that? It's a maamar de Bereshis. The maamar is Bereshis is a maamar. Now, all the time the Torah says vayomer, those are maamorim. There's only 9 of them. What is the 10th? That is the Bereshis. K'maamar Azal, as our sages tell us, Bereshis nami maamaru. Bereshis is also maamar, even though it doesn't say vayomer, but it's also a saying. Now, the fact that we're saying that it's also a saying, but it's still not the same as the others. But the others, we don't have to say that they're a saying, because it says Vayomer. Here you're saying this is also a saying, which means that this is taka a saying, but it has the additional advantage that this is koilel all the other ones. Move on from this language, it's understood Beis Hafochim, 2 opposites. The Mechad Gisa, move on. From one hand, it's understood Shamaymer de Bereshis, Hu bichlal ha'maimoris. So on one hand, we're saying the saying of Bereshis is included, is one of the maimoris. Bereshis is also a maimer. That's the 9. This is the 10th. It's also maimer. But on the other hand, it's understood that this is on a higher level. How do we see it's on a higher level? Because the fact that we need to say that this is a maimer. Here we have to let you know that this is also a maimer. Which means that on its own, it's not obvious. So that means it has a higher level. Sha'amaimer de Breishis hu lemailo, the mailo mishar hamamoris. It's higher than the other mamoris. Bobechinas hamamoris k'moy shehem klulim b'hamachshovim, and they are the level of mamoris as it is in the level of machshovim. And this is take the pshat that we see in Pirkei Avos, that there is one Mamer also. Zoh Shamru says in the Pirkei Avos, V'aloi b'Mamer echad yochel lihi boris. Why did the Eibush then need to create with 10? He could have created with 1. Which Mamer does the Mishnah mean he could have created? He could have created with Bereshis. Mamer echad koi. Al-Mamer de Bereshis. This is talking about the Mamer of Bereshis. Which includes in it all the other sayings. He named him Mamer echad de Bereshis yochel boris kol habriyos. It can all be created from there. Okay, so that's the idea of the Dalet. That's the Dibur Take. Dalet is Dibur, but it's the Dibur which is in Machshove. This is the large Dalet Shu Inyan Prote Hamamoris, the specific detail of saying, Kemoishem Klulim b'Machshove Achas Kalelas Oisom, as they're included in this one thought that includes them. Shehu Gadlus Hadibur, that is the great speech on the higher level, in the one Machshava. Shaharei Enze Inyan Amitis Inyan HaMachshava. So why is this Dibur? It's Machshava. It's Machshava Achas, which includes them. No, that's Gadlus Hadibur. The Rebbe explains. It's not really machshava, those details of speech, the way they were in the machshava, their speech, they're not machshava. Why? That's speech. It's dibur as included in machshava. That's the greatness of dibur. It's not machshava, but it's the gadlus hadibur. Oh, okay. So what's the pshat? Habayechod. There's an aleph ches to the dalet to have the level of bittul, everything through aleph to alufa shaloim the ches and the dalet. So he says shu bittul k'moy shehu mitzad bechinas dalet rabosi gadlus hadibur. That the subjugation of all of the ches and the dalet is not as it's already come out into the level of dibur, but as it's in the gadlus hadibur, as it's in the machshava still, the dibur machshava. The bittul to the aleph is not in a level in which there is already a level of dibur, but as it's in the gadlus of the dibur in machshava. No. Okay, so this tells us how great the bittul needs to be. So, who is the one that reaches that level? Who is the Shema Yisrael? Yisrael, Hashem Echad, reached to the level of bittul of gadlus hadibur. The way it is in machshava. No. Mihem hamizbeininim va'ivdim bebitul hazeh. Who are the ones that reflect and they serve the Eibishter with this subjugation to the level of Dalit. In Alzen Nemar Shema Yisrael. That's what the Pasuk says. Shema Yisrael. Listen, Israel. The Yisrael Olu b'machshava. Yidden Olu b'machshava. So let's examine. Yidden went up in machshava. Here we're saying to reach the dibur, godly dibur shebemachshava, to reach that level of bittul. Who is doing that? The Yidden. Now, where did the Yidden come from? Yidden also come from machshava. But when we see the Lashon, it says Olu b'machshava, means that the Yidden are on a higher level, not dibur shebemachshava. They're machshava shebemachshava. Olu b'machshava within machshava. Machshava itself into the highest level of machshava. And then the question would be, so why do they need to reach to the level of bittul to come to the level of dibur shebemachshava when they are alone higher? Let's go back. Let's look inside. In Alzen Nemar Shema Yisrael, the Yisrael of machshava. The Yidden and they are reaching the one level of bittul. So Upirush Yisrael Olu b'machshava. What does it mean the Yidden went up in machshava? Hainu machshava lo. What means in the higher level of machshava, shelamaylo mibchinas hamachshava kishemoishi hibo b'tziur mugol. That's higher than the level of machshava as it comes down in a limited shape, in a form. The dibur shebemachshava is already at tziur. They're all b'machshava, which is in the higher level of machshava, which is beyond the limited shape of the machshava as it already comes down. Hainu the lois ubilvat shu lemayle b'madrega. Mibchinas machshava shebedibur is not only that it's a higher level than machshava which is in dibur, because in dibur itself there is the machshava of the dibur. Not only that, and b'chinas dibur shebemachshava, and it's higher level than dibur of machshava, which would place it in machshava shebemachshava. The Rebbe adds a little ma'ila gam b'chinas machshava shebemachshava. All of machshava means even higher, even machshava shebemachshava. And the Rebbe is going to explain now what is dibur shebemachshava, machshava shebemachshava. These are even higher. Dine machshava shebedibur. What's the machshava which is in dibur? The Rebbe mentions that it's higher than the machshava shebedibur. Hu mashach hoyshev eich ledaber. That's you think how to speak, how to say. Hainu eich levayer beprote efane hadibur. How to explain, to articulate the details of the way you speech. That's the machshava that you're investing in this speech, how to say it. That's not really machshava, that's dibur, that's machshava shebedibur. Because that's machshava as it dresses up in speech. He thinks how to speak, how to say it. What is the dibur of machshava? That's the thought itself, which is higher than dibur. But we said before, who koilas hadibur? It includes the dibur. So in that machshava, you have the gadlus hamara hadibur, because it includes all the details that will come out later. Ukenal be'inyan gadlus hadibur shu machshava acha shekololus as prot hadibur. As we said before, with regards to the Daled Rabosi, the gadlus hadibur, the greatness of dibur. That's the one thought that includes all the detail of the dibur. So that's still not that's still the level of dibur machshava. V'amitis iyan ha-machshava, hu b'chinas machshava shebe-machshava. The real machshava is machshava shebe-machshava v'hainu, k'moi shechoyshev es etzem ha-seichel terem shemislabish b'ha'oisius. That means like the person who is thinking about the idea itself before it has dressed up in letters, which would be the dibur shebe-machshava, but it's just thinking about the idea prior to being dressed up in letters. That's a higher level. That's a higher step than the thought of the seichel. After it dresses up in the oisius, it becomes the dal rabosi. It becomes gadlus adi, but this is higher than. Umailas haseichel terem shemislabish beoisius al b'chinas haseichel la'achar shemislabish beoisius. The advantage and the greatness of the seichel before dressing up in letters, while it's still machshava shemachshava, over the seichel la'achar shemislabish beoisius, after it dresses up, which it becomes the dibur shemachshava, the dal rabosi, who we're basing on is in two areas, two aspects. Aleph, number one, shaseichel shemislabish beoisius, that the seichel that dresses up within the letters, within the form, harehu mitsuyer beproteh fanabir. So then that is shaped in the details of how the explanations are shaped. Shehem oisius shemislabish behem. Those are the letter in which he dresses up, so it's already formed and it's shaped, the explanation in his thought about how it's going to explain this. These letters are the specific ways of explaining the seichel. So it's come down into this formatting already. It's been formatted by the letters, that it's now a seichel which is shaped and formed and limited. So that's a descent. The higher level is koydem shemislabish ba'oisius, before it dress up in oisius, hare'eina mitsuyer adayin biprotei fanei habir. He's not yet shaped in the specific ways of the explanation, so it's a higher, it's more simpler, had not been formatted yet. And therefore it's possible to explain it in various different ways. You're not limited. It's not been defined yet. It's not been shaped yet in a certain way. It's higher. It can come down in different ways before it's been shaped. That's machshava shemachshava. Behabeis, and the second advantage of the machshava before it comes down into the detail, sha'aseichel terem shemislabish ba'oisius, the seichel before it dresses up in oisius, hine loizu bilvad she'eina mitzur biprotei fanabir. It's not just this alone, that it's not yet shaped in these specific ways of explanation. It's more than it just doesn't have, it's not yet been shaped. Shegam haseichel atzmai hu b'pshitus. The seichel itself is, with simplicity, is on a higher level. It's a level of pshitus. Shehu mufshit adayin miprota seichel atzmei. That it's undressed from the details of seichel. Loirak mefanei abiyu. Not only in the different ways to explain it. That's one. It's higher, that it doesn't have yet the format of the explanation. But in this case, he's adding another point, the Rebbe. The second aspect is that it's not even formatted in a specific seichel. The seichel itself is not. It's just in a general seichel, as not a detailed seichel. Besides the fact that it's not yet formatted by the ways how to explain it. So this is even the highest level. But when we say Yisrael b'machshava, not even in machshava sheb'machshava. Amar b'chinas Yisrael b'machshava b'chinas machshava lo. This is the level of the supreme machshava shelamaylo gam b'bchinas machshava shebemachshava. That is even higher than the level of machshava shebemachshava. Because the b'chinas machshava shebemachshava haru b'chinas tzir. It's still form. It's still a shape. The afshu mushal me'afanim va'aprotim. Even though machshava shebemachshava it's negated from the various different explanations and the details of the seichel, it's higher. It still has been formatted that it's seichel. Which we're talking about Yisrael Olu b'machshava. The Eibishter's machshava law, even pshitas l'gamri, it's a higher level. So this is the Yidden who come from this higher level. They are reflecting Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. The bittul that all the world is bittul to the Aleph, in a way of the Daled Rabasi. But since the Yidden are even higher than Machshava Sheba Machshava, why do we need them to have that bittul of the Daled Rabasi? Even they're even higher than the Machshava Sheba Machshava. They're Machshava Ilah, Pshitus Legamri. So why do we need it? That's the Rebbe is going to continue in Eis Gimel.